Let's get this show on the road.
Rock and
Welcome to Wall
roll.
Street Beats, everybody. I'm Steve Lamar, joined by Kevin Bakes Baker. Robert Marson was supposed to be here today, but he's on a plane. So you got us, and we're gonna talk. Markets. We're gonna talk some crypto. I want to get Bakes' thought on these recent bank earnings and how the stocks are performing relative. Looks like everybody's loving Goldman Sachs this morning. What else? Crypto's had nice bounce in the last couple days. So it's like yesterday's sell-off was a blip and carry on. What do you think, Bakes?
I'm not so sure. This is no, I'm not. Because this is what I like what we do versus what CNBC does. CNBC shows you this part of the chart right here, this last day or two. All right, but look at the longer term. I mean, this is just smacking into the 200-day, smacking into resistance. Now, this obviously doesn't correlate entirely with the Bitcoin price itself. This is the the first ETF.
This
that
is
was out there.
GBTC. Is this GBTC?
GBTC, which I use it because it's got the longest price history. But it's a nice rally. The volume's okay to good, but is this definitive? It's not to me. And I'll talk about Solana later. But it's a nice bounce. It's great. Is it the start of something massive? We'll find out. I'm not willing to call that yet, given what I see here. And then look at the long-term chart. I mean, I'm going to use the week because it looks a little bit better there to me. I mean, that's a left shoulder, that's a head, and this is a right shoulder.
Yeah.
That's
it's ready to roll.
That's rolling over stuff. MicroStrategy can't get out of its own way. Look at that. I mean, they're basically holding.
How's the volume been looking, Bakes, on this recent move? Is it
on MicroStrategy? On MicroStrategy?
On GBTC. This bounce in GBTC or Bitcoin, is it?
It's picked up. I mean, I'm not going to. I try to be as dispassionate about this as I can. And frankly, I don't really care. I'm not a holder. I'm not a maximalist, Bitcoin or otherwise. So the volume's picking up. It's above average. Why is my system so slow today? Yeah, I mean, I can't read that. But clearly the volume has picked up. But it ought to, because it's volume yesterday was 6% above normal. Not great. And then look at these down days.
Yep.
I mean, people want to sell this. People want to sell Bitcoin.
So you wouldn't be rushing in. You wouldn't be rushing into this. You wouldn't be rushing into this move here.
Not even a little bit. And I'll watch how it behaves here at 80 or so, and and I'll take a look at the there's 3 or 4 or 5 Bitcoin short ETFs, and I'll take a look at those. They didn't show up in my work this past month. When I went through 5,300 plus charts, every ETF that's out there, but there's plenty to do. But for me, it isn't Bitcoin right now.
Okay. All right. So what do you make of the equity indexes just generally? S&P, Qs, Russell.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm really glad you brought this up, and it dovetails with some thoughts I have later on Microsoft. But it's the same kind of thing. Look at why is this so slow? Look at the down volume, including yesterday. All right, versus the up volume. You see that?
Yeah.
People want to sell Apple, Meta, and especially Microsoft. I can go to Microsoft right now. I can go to the rest of the indices. They kind of all tag into it with each other. What would you like me to do?
Let's do index. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go Microsoft, and let's go. I mean, some of the big software names have really been gotten hit, but let's go Microsoft.
Okay, and this is really intriguing to me. I mean, it took out the close below the 200-day moving average happened here about a week ago. Okay,
that is an ugly chart. Oof.
but look like this, when the open AI news was so hot. Look what happened here, where
Yep.
they and I think that I know this. I'll cut to. I won't bury the lead. I think Gemini 3 is fantastic, which is
Yeah, it is.
Google's, which
Yep.
is Google's AI engine, and I use the vocal mode and voice mode, and I'm talking to it all the time. I mean, it's people think I'm Looney Tunes, maybe, but uh, and the OpenAI relationship has frayed. They extended it to 2032. The terms aren't as they're not exclusive, so they've already got a hedge with Anthropic. And Google, I think, is just kicking ass and taking names. So
Yeah.
if I owned Microsoft, I'd sell a third, and I'd watch real closely how it behaves. And frankly, maybe I'd round that up a little bit, because taking out these lows from last year in November, it's a problem. It's a
Yep.
problem. And I think that y- I think Google's winning. And now, having said that, GPT 5.3, they got to come up with a better name. It's so clunky. Um, they could leapfrog and become dramatically better, but you know, like, I'll just say, and I hope they don't do this.
Google's just got the info. I mean, they have the footprint. I mean, why would you use anything if Gemini is that great? I don't know why you'd use anything else,
Well, yeah,
because it
and
just
here,
ties in with search, and it ties in with YouTube. It just ties in with everything you do, everything
I
you're using
mean, they
already.
just
So
signed a deal. They're gonna become Siri in essence for Apple. So you've
yep,
got I forget what the number. Billions of people in their pockets every day staring at the thing, and it's going to be powered by Gemini 3 or Gemini 4 or Gemini 5. And
yep,
Google was working on this. When Sam Altman was in diapers, and I'm exaggerating just a little bit, but I mean, price tells me everything. I mean, look at this thing. And I mentioned this before. I own this for a whopping 30% move right out of the global financial crisis. Sold it like a moron. So this one really hurts. But Google, Sergey came back and worked all night, and it shows. I mean, it is Gemini 3. If they said tomorrow, we're going to pay, we need you to charge you, $20 a month or 30, maybe 40, I'll pay it. I hope they
for
don't
sure.
do it. I hope they're not listening. Actually, I do hope they're listening, because we're really good about this. Um,
Yeah, if you own the stock, you'd love that.
Sorry.
I said if you own the stock and people think people are willing to pay $20 a month for Gemini, then that's a home run.
And oh, by the way, what do they have? They have everything on YouTube that's ever been created. I can't tell you,
Exactly.
hey, I want to learn how to play the Eruption solo by Van Halen. Give me the best video to do that, and it shows up, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely
Yep.
fantastic. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Okay.
Microsoft, I'm not a fan. And then I'm going to weave back and forth a little bit with you, since it's such a huge part of the cues. See how elegantly I did that, Steve, and incorporated all of our themes here.
You don't even need my help here, Bakes.
No, no, no.
You
You're
got this.
awesome. You keep me on the rails. But here's the cues, and everything's hitting new highs. Oh, I should have said everything. Metals are hitting new highs left and right. I refrained myself from making this the metals show like I did on Tuesday, but no new highs. And
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
wasn't
the
gonna let you
same.
talk about metals today.
It's the same thing. Nvidia hasn't hit new highs. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look good. And the volume is the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Take a look at Apple. I mean, as soon as Warren said, goodbye at Berkshire, this thing's been rolling over too.
Yeah.
So, and here's Meta. I mean, this used to be 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Not so much.
Whew.
At some point they said, hey, we're going to spend X billion of dollars on CapEx. And the market said, yeah, we want it to be less than that. And here we are. So,
Yeah.
so the cues are a problem. And then you wanted IWM, the Russell. Look
Russell's
at
been
this.
a monster. Look at that.
I'm not dazzled by the volume, but new highs are new highs. And
Yep.
so, people are you say, and this is what happens in the
People are
business. I
looking
mean,
for an alternative to the Mag 7 for sure.
yeah, and
And
you've
that's
been
why
hugging.
that's another reason I wanted to look when we get to it next. I want to look at S&P SPY versus RSP equal weight S&P to kind of validate that rotation.
Here we go. There you go, right there. I mean, it looks like IWM, doesn't it?
For sure. Look at that. Yep.
But the volume's
That's equal
better.
weight S&P, ticker is RSP.
Yeah,
That's where people are rotating into.
And so the other 493 are getting their day in the sun. And there's a lot
100%.
of things that look great. It just isn't tech right now. I mean, memory storage stocks are screaming. So that's probably, doing a lot of this lifting here that you see.
That means,
but it's and I listen to all these pundits and listen to all these podcasts and all of the Mag 7 and the AI bubble. Okay, but how bad can it be if most stocks are hitting new highs by definition?
Yeah.
So anyway,
can you pull up a VIX? Can you pull up a VIX chart?
I don't think I have a VIX. I'm sorry.
No. All right.
I'm not like these guys with $30,000 Bloombergs. I'm just a humble William O'Neill market surge chart guy, which they get their money too, but not 30 grand, whatever the hell.
Bloomberg I've just noticed the volatility has been creeping up here.
Yeah, it hit 17 yesterday.
Yeah.
And markets were down yesterday. They don't like the banks. And God bless Charlie Peabody.
JP Morgan scared everybody a little bit yesterday. Yeah.
People should listen to us just for Charlie. I mean, he's been right as rain on these damn things. And nothing Jamie Dimon could say would make people happy. And so JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, they all look the same. They violated the 50. It's not as important as violating a 200-day moving average, but it's not good. It's not good. And then if this quarter didn't wow people, what are they going to do the next quarter to wow people? And sure. I think Charlie would say, I don't know, or he probably knows, but he's not very excited about the sector that he knows better than anybody.
Yeah, I would love to get his thoughts on the disconnect between those like a Wells and a JP Morgan and today what we saw at a Goldman and the stock's reaction. Pull up Goldman's just ripping this morning.
Yeah,
and Morgan Stanley's had a nice reaction to their release. So
yeah, and I think they don't have the credit card news that was that would dampen the banks maybe, and wealth management. I think someone said on CNBC today, wealth management's got a 23% margin. That's a damn good business. It's a damn good business.
For sure.
And they pay for that more than they pay for trading. And so this is why Morgan Stanley trades at 19 times.
Yeah.
And Charlie's been real good about that. He warned you about Jeff, that they've got their own sets of problems. So I get two more real quick if you get time.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do two more quick. And then
I don't want the kids to go hungry and I don't want them late for school. This is Vanguard Energy, VDE. And in essence, this is 37% Exxon and Chevron, XDE. I don't own this because I own 10 better ones, in my opinion, and by the relative strength ranks. But even with oil sort of moribund, it picked up a little bit at 61. Maybe the Iran news helps a little bit. But I think that Trump, with his Venezuela move, has made OPEC irrelevant. No one says it out loud, so I will. But we've got oil as far as the eye can see, and especially with Chevron and their historical relationship in Venezuela, that sure as hell sounds bullish to me. So, energy is finally picking up. The Valeros of the world on the refining end.
I do think though the Chevrons and the Exxons and they're just gotten a little. I mean, these projects are going to take years and years.
Oh God, yes. Oh yeah. I don't
think have gotten a little ahead of themselves, but It's
Yeah,
fine.
I think so, but I also think it's part of the rotation. This is what
Yeah.
3-4% of the S&P, and people got to 40 or plus on their S&P on technology and semis and all these other things,
Yep. And
and
these
they're
stocks have
saying, you
been
know what?
doing jack shit for the last couple of years, so except paying dividends.
Yeah, and they're trying to stay employed and trying not to have the S&P kick their ass again. So they're doing what they can. And then this is an oddball, and then we'll get you to the making pancakes and driving your kids. VSOL. I don't know really what to make with this. This is Van X Solana, but I'm glad you brought up Bitcoin yesterday. This is hitting new highs and on decent volume. I don't really have a strong opinion about Solana, but I just bring it up because that's significant outperformance. This tends to lead the other cryptos, Bitcoin and Ethereum principally. And again, I'm not willing to say that's what's going to happen yet, but that's pretty impressive price action in
Sure.
Solana that I'm exploring further. And I just bring it up to people so they can do their own due diligence.
What's the ticker there?
VSOL, VSOL.
VSOL.
Van X Solana.
All right, so you're saying put this one on your radar. If this thing kind of holds these levels with the volume staying kind of fairly steady, this one could have another move higher.
Yeah, and again, I bring it up third because it's my least conviction of all those things I just talked about.
Yep.
But I was struck yesterday especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum not hitting new highs by any stretch of the imagination. The fact that Solana does is it makes me raise my eyebrows at a minimum.
Yep, got it. Okay. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up, Mr. Baker. Thank you. Thanks for all the insight, Steve, with the charts and the technicals. We will be back here tomorrow. I'll be hosting. We should have a threesome tomorrow, I hope. Thanks for joining us. Follow us on wallstreetbeats.com, and we will be back at you tomorrow. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Jen, thank you as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jen.